Hi, I'm Ms. Kim, the art instructor at the Music Connection in Orland Park, Illinois, and I'm so excited to teach you today's lesson. We're going to be making homemade Christmas cards using watercolor and gel pens. So let's begin. I'm using my water brush here, and all you do is take it and squeeze between your fingers and drop of water you'll see come out. The brush, just wipe it. Mine has a little color on it, but guess what? It's totally clean because when I brush it on the paper towel, it's clean, nothing's showing, okay? I want to make sure that's ready for my project. So now I'm going to draw my ornaments in. I might just lay my card like this so you can see with the light better what I'm doing. So here's the compass. It has a pointed pencil tip and just a regular tip that's not a pen or anything, it's just a point. What I do is I set it on my paper, the point, and wherever the pencil lands is where I'm going to get the circle. So I do a practice look at that. It's not coming off the edge of my pencil, it's on the card like it is here, and there's a gap. Just like that. So then I take it and I hold my paper down and I just go around in a circle. Okay? And it creates your perfect circle. And if it's a little dark, it's okay, we'll erase some of that pencil lead, okay? These might be slightly, this card might be slightly different from that one, don't worry, but you're gonna get the idea of what I'm doing. So now I'm just closing this up a little to create a shorter space, make a smaller ornament, and I'm gonna go up here, and I'm gonna start that one up here, and I'm gonna go around, holding my paper down, and just keeping that pencil on the paper, and not lifting it up, going all the way around. There's my other perfect circle, and it's smaller. Now I'm going to widen it more to make a bigger ornament, like so. And this time, this ornament is going to be behind a smaller one, like I have here. So I'm going to pretend like here, I'm going to put my point here, and if I'm not going to draw here, I'm going to start drawing here, like I have this. And then this ornament's in front of it, just like this one's going to be. This is a big ornament, okay, and that's okay. I know it's not exactly the same, but then you get the idea of a different look to your card. And then I'm going to close it a little bit to create like a medium-sized ornament right in here. And don't worry, if we do go through it, we can erase it out. And you find that point where your pencil is, and that's it. So I have 4 ornaments drawn with my compass. I set that aside. I'm going to take the eraser on my pencil. I'm going to erase this line within this ornament, like so. And I'm going to just wipe it away. I'm going to take some of the darker parts of this line away and just kind of erase some of it. It's just a guide because we're going to put water inside each sphere or in each ornament circle. It's going to be wet on wet is the technique with watercolor for these ornaments. So I'm just kind of slightly erasing those lines, not completely. They're just so they're more subtle. You can't see them as much, but they're there. And they're a guide for you anyway, like that. Mine you can't really see now that I put the paint in there, the watercolor paint. Okay, now with my watercolor brush, it's clean and ready, and it's twisted on. There's water within it. You can't really see maybe in the video here, but it's filled with water and twisted. Closed. And then I just brush it onto my paper towel to clean it. I'm going to start with my little ornament. I squeeze with my fingers right here and just go in and fill water within that circle only. For that little ornament, you just fill that with water. We're doing a wet on wet technique with watercolor, and it's going to be pretty simple. I teach 5 through 12-year-old boys and girls, and this is something that they can definitely do. It's a simple design. So we're going to go with the green and red like I did here. Classic colors for Christmas. So I'm going to go ahead and get some red off my watercolor palette here. And I'm dunking it right in the paint. And I'm just putting dots randomly wherever I want on this ornament within the water. And it's going to spread a little, and that's what we want. It's fine. It's not going to look exactly like that, and that's okay. Grab some more of that red, put some more dots, And see how it just kind of creates those cool effects within each ornament. You'll see how it all comes together. Then you can also go around where that pencil line is just to outline it right now. And that's it. And then leave that. Take your water pen, wet it, and squeeze it, and pull all that paint color out of that water pen. Like so, and it should come up clear, and then you got a clean tip. I know it's dark, but here it's clean. There's no color. Now I'm going to go in with a green, classic green, and get some water activated, and there's green on my tip, and I'm just dipping within, and it's just going to be kind of like a tie-dye effect. And it's going to just go spread out within the ornament and overlap with the red, and that's okay if it does. It's an interesting design, and you leave it be, and you let it dry. You're going to clean your brush. See how the green was there, but now it's clear because I'm squeezing with my fingers the water through the tip of the brush, and it's cleaning it all up, and you still got a fine, nice tip brush like I have here. Now, we're going to get away from that guy and let him dry, and be careful. We're going to go over to this one, and we're going to fill it with water, clear water, just within the circle. Again, we're doing the wet on wet technique for watercolor or your homemade Christmas card. Fill it all in with the water. All right. Make sure, I know it's kind of a little tricky to see in this video, but if you could see the wet, I'm kind of tilting it so you could see the wet part. It is filled that circle. We're going to go with the pink and blue. So let's go into the pink, fill it with water, load it up, and just dot it throughout the ornament. Hey, maybe it's a baby boy or girl going to be first Christmas. All right. Maybe your mom or dad are having a baby boy or girl, and this will be kind of fun. And they don't know what it's going to be, a boy or a girl yet. Okay, let's clean our brush off in the paper towel, squeezing, pulling all that water and the color out, and see it's nice and clear. Now I'm going to go find the blue, and I'm going to put my brush into that color, and then I'm going to dot it randomly throughout my ornament. There's no wrong, and it's going to blend with the pink, and it's okay. But stay within that circle that's wet. Wet on wet technique. Watercolor again. Now let's outline it. Just where the pencil mark is, go all the way around, just so we define that ornament shape as a circle. Okay? And let's get some more blue and just dot. Dot away. We're going to let parts of this dry in in sections, and go back in. And this is a good way to learn about what a water pen is. You can use just a regular watercolor brush, just clean it in water, clean it on your paper towel like you would normally anyway, but this is a nice way to learn about this kind of tool that helps with paint. Now my water brush is getting low on water, it's at this level. I might have to take a minute and go into the kitchen and fill it with water. You just unscrew the cap. You turn on the tap water to a comfortable temperature, not hot, and fill it and then screw it back on. It's just that easy. Make sure it's screwed on all the way and you're ready to go again. Okay, but I'm going to go back in and get some more pink because I'm thinking it needs more pink. And as you can see, this is more just the background, and then we're going to put some detailing over and some glitter to make it sparkle for the holidays, your ornaments. I hope you guys are having fun decorating for the holidays and seeing all the pretty lights in the streets and getting out there and maybe getting a little hot chocolate and going for a walk with the family to see all the decorations leading up to the holidays here. It is so much fun. All right, I'm going to clean up my brush. I'm squeezing. Now I'm going to fill this circle or this ornament with water. We're just continuing the same steps like we have been with all the other two so far. We're going to finalize these last two the same way. All right, so I'm going to clean my brush off all the way. I'm going to fold my paper towel, and you can see it's all cleared through. And then you can just leave your brush sit, but you're going to let this dry. So I have my glass paintbrush. I bought this at the dollar store. You can use any kind of black ink, pointed paintbrush tipped marker. And I wrote the words Merry and Bright for my cover of my card. You could put Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Season's Greetings, or just Jolly, Jolly, whatever you decide on. Okay, and then I just added a little accent line to the first letters, M and the B, just to make them more predominant. And then I also made these little tops, just kind of like this, on top of each ornament, and then I put little lines. Technically, you're not going to see them because you're going to put your silver glitter pen mark over it to make it shine. This is the top of your ornament. That is that little cap that has the hook in it, or your string to have you hang your ornament off your tree. Okay? Then I do make a line straight up to the tree on each one, so they're hung from the tree. And we cap that pen and put that aside. We can let things dry a bit. I'm going to go back in with my paint brush, and I'm going to go with a light lime green for my pine needles, my pine branches, and my Christmas tree in the background, and I simply just make straight lines and shoot them out. Straight, because that's how pine needles are. They're not curved really, a little bit, but not much. I get an artificial tree and put it up early so I can enjoy it for far longer. I don't know, some people do the artificial, some people go and get the Christmas tree and pick it up at the tree farm, which is a lot of fun to do. So you know how a pine tree looks and its needles. So you start with the light, and then we're going to let it dry, and then we're going to come back in with the darker colored green to overlap it to make it more dimensional, more interesting, and that's a highlight and a low light of the branch colors. And I'm kind of doing my branches on an angle. Thought that'd be kind of more visually interesting rather than just straight down, because a tree's branches are kind of like in that shape. More natural look to it, more realistic. And I'm having some branches peek down in here that are like coming to the end behind these ornaments, so you can put some branches back there like so. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And then I'm going to clean my paintbrush, water pen, and then I'll go back in once that's dry and go in with the dark green to make my pine needles. But for now, we have to let things dry. So while we're waiting, we can do a little bit of red within these spaces. So I'm going to do a little red on my paintbrush, and I'm going to just fill it right here. Classic colors for Christmas are red and green. And those just give it a little shot of color. Clean off that brush. And we're going to let things dry. Okay, so I had my card dry. I had a fan, so I let it run the fan for like a good 5 minutes or so, and it's dry. You don't see any shininess into the touch, it's dry. So we're ready to take our gel pens and do some detailing on top of our ornaments. I'm going to go very simply and take a hot pink, and on this ornament I simply made a line coming down from the top of that ornament to the bottom of that ornament, and just made like a couple of lines down just like so. And then what I did was I simply did a zigzag approach. So I came down and I stayed on it, and then I just went up, came down, and up, just like that. Now I'm going to do it again, down, and up. Now I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to go down and up and meet it there, down, and then up and meet it here, and down. And then I just put some random little dots wherever I wanted within some spaces. That's all, just to decorate it a little bit. Okay, and then I took the hot pink and did it on the purple and pink ornament as well. I just did a wave, and I followed the wave the same shape, low and high, just like the other one, and one more. So like that. And then I just brought lines down, and I kind of just bent the lines so they were straight up and down. And just random, like almost like a brick pattern. And that was it. Okay? Then I kept my hot pink gel pen. This tip came off a little bit, but it's okay. It's just the decoration to show the color of the gel pen. I'm going to take red now, uncap it, and I'm going to go bring some lines down on this ornament like I did on the one above. And I just put some random dots on the lines going up and down wherever I felt I'd like to put them. That was it. Now on the big one I did a subtler wave, like a gentle wave, a couple times across my ornament. No particular, plan, just kind of did that. And then I made bigger dots, and I just made them where they were not hollow. So it's a simple little pattern and design. Okay, and then I capped that. And then I'm going to go in with my water pen, get a little bit of that dark green for the next layer on my branches for my turnip pine tree, and I'm going to just brush those dark green just wherever. It doesn't have to be right on top of the other one. It doesn't have to match them. It actually looks better if you don't, because then a little of the green shows, the lighter green, lime green shows through underneath, and it really looks nice. So you're just making the branch leaves coming and pointy and straight out and overlaying the lime green. And you're even coming down below. Don't forget, behind the ornaments, there's some pine needles coming through. Make sure you get enough of that dark green. You have a nice contrast going on, like so. You'll finish your whole card like I did above by doing this. I'm not going to do this one entirely. You see how it looks here. I am going to clean my brush off at this point on the paper towel so it's nice and clean. Set it aside. Next, I'm going to take my silver glitter pen, and I'm going to go and do all the caps are dry and just fill them in. And squeeze gently, because it kind of comes out fast and thick. And just kind of fill those tree toppers, or the ornament toppers I should say, for each ornament. They're silver and they're sparkly. Where it says Merry Bright, we'll do that last, because as your hand is coming down, we don't want to smear it. So within these ornaments, I did dots here, so I'm going to go dot, squeeze, dot, and I'm just dotting and picking it up. Real simple. You can go back in and do a little correction if you need to, carefully. Okay, do a little more, squeeze a little more. And then I went on the dots that I made on this one. I went right on top of them and dotted. But you can do it a little different. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. You're getting the idea what to do though. Then this medium-sized one, again, I dotted where like the points met. For the heck of it, you could just go wherever you want. They're your ornaments on your tree, on your card. And then I finally did it on these red dots. I just went in a circle, and some red comes through, and that's what I want. I don't want to show it totally, but I don't want to hide it completely. So I just went in a swirl, and you let all that dry. I did dot this dot here under the end with silver, and a little here just to sparkle and brighten the bottom of my message. On the top of the eye, where I dotted the eye, and at the bottom of my exclamation point saying Merry and Bright. I cap this and screw it closed so it doesn't dry out on me. And I would finish the card by doing the rest of the green with my water brush in dark green. You would set this aside to let it totally dry. Let's pretend this one is decorated, okay? Same size. what you would do is take the tacky glue and you'd fill it all up with tacky glue. You unscrew it, and you would cut a piece like this of this example card that you have in your collection. Mine happens to be 7.5 by 5.5 in size. You'd measure that out and cut it with scissors. And you could just mark it on the paper and cut it on your watercolor paper, and then you take the paper and fold it in half to create this card effect. So this one's like this, but we're going this approach. And then you would glue your finished piece that's dry with the tacky glue on top, and when you do that, I'm going to use the back of this. Okay, so your piece would be dry and ready, and we would have that part cut and folded from the watercolor that we cut out and folded. And then we would be taking the tacky glue and putting it all, squeezing it all on, and then pushing it down onto this side of the card that is without a picture on it, of course. Once we fix it, let's pretend that one is, I would put my fingers around the parts that are not, this is all dry, and I just want it to be by the glitter. I take these clips from the dollar store and I just push them onto the card to help secure the glue and it together so it can glue nice, and make sure it's all pushed down, and then you let it sit and dry. Once it's dry, you take the clips off, and you could bend your card like so, and it could prop up, and there you have your homemade Christmas card. This is the back. You could put handmade by Susie, or just your name if you want, or nothing, and write your sentiment inside. And you can buy an envelope to fit your card size. Just measure it out so you know what size to buy, and you can mail it off or just give it with a Christmas gift. So that concludes our mini video. Have a wonderful holiday season. Bye for now.